Hi, everyone, and welcome back to my channel, Left Undone Incomplete Investigations. My name is Kathy. We follow all things true crime here on this channel. Today, I'm going to talk about a case that hits incredibly close to home for me. As a former flight attendant with many friends that are still flying in the skies, this one is big and incredibly scary. This is the story of American Airlines flight attendant Diana Ramos. Diana was 66 years young. She was a mother, a wife, a grandmother, and had dedicated over 25 years to being a flight attendant for American Airlines. She loved life, even after losing her husband about a year before her own death. But on a layover in Philadelphia, Diana's life was taken. And the circumstances surrounding her death, well, they're very suspicious. They also raise serious questions about safety, company responsibility, and the well-being of the crews while they are on layovers. These are the very people that ensure our safety when we're flying, and they deserve as much dedication to their safety as they do to ours when we are on a flight. On Monday, September 25th, 2023, Diana and her crew finished their flight for the day in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. They checked into the Philadelphia Airport Marriott. Now, for those unfamiliar with this hotel, it's unique. It's actually directly connected to the airport. So normally a flight crew will take a shuttle. The shuttle will wait for them. They'll all get on as a crew, they'll get on the shuttle together, be shuttled over to the hotel, get their keys, check in, go to their rooms, then go down for dinner or whatever they're going to do after that. But normally it's a shuttle. But this airport hotel is directly connected, so there was no need for a shuttle. They could just deplane and wander at their leisure over to the hotel. Because crews usually have one night layover. Domestic flight attendants, they usually have one night. Sometimes 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours, sometimes 12, sometimes 24 hours. But their flight, they were just on a regular layover. They got there, and the next morning they were to leave. Now, normally the crew meets downstairs in the lobby and again takes the shuttle over to the airport. But again, with this hotel being so unique without the need of a shuttle and being attached to the airport, that isn't necessarily how it would have worked here. Well, it isn't how it would work here. So that day, Diana's crew gathered and went to the gate for their flight. They did notice her absence, and according to what we learned, at least one crew member tried to call the hotel twice, asking them to check on their missing flight attendant. Our flight attendant isn't here with the crew, and this is how things are done. You worry about you just made this whole trip with them for probably days or 2 days, and now all of a sudden they didn't show up for the flight. So according to what I found, at least one flight attendant did call the hotel at least twice, asking them to check on her. This actually is really important because it does show that the crew did follow some protocol to alert the hotel. But for reasons that are still very unclear and frankly infuriating, I mean, seriously infuriating, the hotel staff did not immediately check on Diana. And American Airlines, well, we're told they simply sent a reserve flight attendant to replace her, which is shocking to me that nobody was freaking out on this. At least did she oversleep? You can go get her. I mean, she was based in Los Angeles. You can't just leave somebody in Philadelphia when they're based in Los Angeles. It's very strange to me. This whole way everything went down is very, very unsettling, to say the least. So, apparently, no investigation into where she was, no urgent search for Diana. It just seems Diana was just quickly forgotten on this trip. 2 agonizing days passed. On Wednesday, September 27th, 2023, housekeeping staff finally entered Diana's room, and what they found was horrific. Diana Ramos was deceased. She was gone. A t-shirt was shoved halfway down her throat. Now, I'm also a registered nurse. As an RN, I can tell you that the presence of medication bottles, which the media quickly jumped on, does not equal suicide. It was a detail that was sensationalized by news outlets, perhaps to imply a simpler, less alarming explanation for her death. But it doesn't add up. The Philadelphia police quickly declared her death suspicious. I mean, at 66 years old, she might have some thyroid medicine, some blood pressure medicine, who knows? Just because someone's on prescription medication doesn't mean that anything about suicide. My medication sits next to my bed on my nightstand, my thyroid medicine. Every morning I take it because I'm supposed to take it on an empty stomach. It reminds me, it's sitting right there. I take it. So this thing about her having medication bottles next to the bed means nothing in this case. So the police did immediately declare that her death was suspicious, and they launched a homicide investigation. Let me be absolutely clear. There was no forced entry into Diana's room. This suggests she either knew her attacker or was somehow tricked into opening her door. And here, get this one. This is a critical piece of information that makes this case even more disturbing. Diana was staying on the 4th floor of this hotel, of the Marriott. And according to my sources, the 4th floor is one of the only floors in this hotel that does not have security cameras. Think about that. A major airport hotel and a floor, essentially a blind spot where flight attendants routinely stay. This is a massive security lapse. This security lapse is so bad that it could have, and likely did, aid her killer. Diana Ramos's grandson confirmed that Diana's cell phone, well, it pinged several miles away from the hotel. This strongly suggests that the killer took her phone. Obviously, he wanted to hinder the investigation and remove any potential tracking. As a former flight attendant starting my career with what was America West at the time, which is American Airlines now, in 1984, this case bothers me so much. Back then, we were a family. We always looked out for each other. We didn't leave the hotel to go to the airport without the entire crew. We looked under each other's beds to make sure nobody was hiding in there, or the shower, or the closets. We took care of each other. If someone overslept, because I've done that, we had the hotel check on them immediately. I have overslept at least twice that I can remember on layovers. And there was a knock on my door, a phone ringing. Somebody was checking on me immediately when I wasn't downstairs with the rest of the crew. You know, we relied on each other. We relied on our company to have our backs. This case was shared with me by Ashley, a former flight attendant for American Airlines from 2022 to 2024. This all paints a very different picture. Ashley herself described the job as unpredictable and unsafe. And in Diana's case, when her crew alerted the company, American Airlines simply sent a reserve flight attendant. This sends a chilling message to employees. Your safety, your well-being, it's not their high priority. They issued a generic statement about being devastated and cooperating with law enforcement. But that's standard corporate speak. Put out a statement. Where was the immediate proactive concern about Diana? The Association of Professional Flight Attendants, the union for the American Airlines flight attendants, has clear guidelines about hotel safety for their members. Things like rooms being on a higher floor, doors opening to indoor hallways, overall safety and security. The lack of cameras on the fourth floor, that contradicts the spirit of this very important safety recommendation, especially in this day and age. Diana Ramos was murdered on a layover in a hotel where she should have been safe. Her death is a tragic example of how vulnerable flight attendants can be on the road. And it raises urgent questions. Why was there a 2-day delay in finding Diana, even after her crew alerted the hotel and the airline? Why was the fourth floor of the Marriott without security cameras, leaving a critical blind spot? What are American Airlines specific protocols for a missing flight attendant on a layover, especially when the hotel is connected to the airport? Are those protocols sufficient? As of today, June 28th, 2025, no arrests have been made in this case. Diana's family deserves answers. Her fellow flight attendants deserve answers and a sense of safety. The fellow flight attendants need to know that their safety is paramount importance to the airline, to everyone. The autopsy results have not been released because this is an ongoing investigation. If you have any information about the murder of Diana Ramos, please contact the Philadelphia Police Department. Let's keep Diana's story alive and demand accountability, because everyone deserves to be safe, especially when they're just trying to do their job. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe if you're new. Ring the bell for notifications so you know when I drop another video or I go live. I plan to continue to shed light on critical cases that are out there that need attention. To all of you, and right now especially to my flight attendant friends, please stay safe out there. Thank you for watching Left Undone, Incomplete Investigations. My name is Kathy Brooks. Stay safe and stay well, and I will be back soon.